Unconsistently consistent.
Hello, and welcome to our second ever episode of our podcast, Inconsistently Consistent. I'm Melanie.
And I'm Rachel. Welcome back, listeners. Hopefully, we didn't scare you off with our weirdness that we did in the last episode.
Yeah, and if we haven't had a chance to scare you off yet, we will this week.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance that I will be scaring them off at least. So I apologize in advance.
I've got a few things to scare them off. Maybe the weirdness. I definitely brought the weird.
I brought the dark. In case you can't tell from what we're talking, we're going to discuss some conspiracy theories and kind of just read them and talk about them and just kind of see how they fit into our 2021 zeitgeist and go from there.
Yeah, and so what's your opinion on conspiracy theories, Rachel? Are you a believer?
I am a skeptic of conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big skeptic myself, but I like to have a good giggle.
Yeah, I like to read some of them because some are just completely out there, and then there are other ones that take it a little too far.
Just a little bit.
Just a tad, and I'm just going to say, if you hear stomping around in the background, my cat Hexa has decided that she wants to do parkour at the exact time we're recording.
Yeah, I've barred my cats out, but my dog may start barking like crazy if anyone comes to the door.
Yeah, I can't bar her because then she'll just howl. So there's that.
Well, I don't know about howling, but that could bring me into my first one.
Oh, okay.
Not exactly howling, but it's close to it. So, are you ready for it, Rachel?
I'm ready. Bring it on.
So, how old would you say Jay-Z is? Like a roundabout guess.
I think, based on my last internet search of Jay-Z, he's about like 45.
Pretty sure older.
Okay.
But I think that's a fair guess because he does look pretty ageless.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a little picture.
Okay.
I just texted it to you.
These pictures we will post on our Instagram so people can see. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
That would be a picture of someone people think is Jay-Z, but someone who was alive before Jay-Z was supposedly born.
Okay.
Hence the conspiracy.
So what is the conspiracy?
Oh, I can't tell you yet.
Okay.
So that picture is taken in Harlem in 1939.
Okay.
And Jay-Z was born in 1969.
Okay.
But that man looks a hell of a lot like Jay-Z, right?
He does. He could be his twin or, it could be just Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm. So 30 years before Jay-Z was born, a man that looks identical to Jay-Z is just hanging out in Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the theory is, because this picture went around Twitter and everybody was like, oh my God, Jay-Z was here in Harlem 30 years prior to being born. So obviously, say it with me, Rachel, Jay-Z is a time-traveling vampire. Exactly. Thank you. Right?
Okay.
That's the first thing your mind goes to.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah, because as soon as you see that picture, that's what it says. Because, he's wearing like a little salt and pepper cap. He's wearing like a vest and a jacket, like a suit jacket. And obviously, time-traveling vampire. No other option.
No, absolutely not. Just none whatsoever.
Yeah. So, case closed, right? Like, I can finish that. That's the whole conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy. It's just fact.
It's just facts at this point.
Yeah. But okay, if you want some more, I can tell you a little bit about it.
I would like to know who started this and why.
Well, who started this, we don't know. Because it came from Twitter, and the photo who posted it is gone. So the original poster photo, like the link is gone. is no longer active. It's just found, like I found multiple articles where this has been shared and shared and shared around. But the main link from where it originated is gone. Conspiracy? Suspicious? What?
One would say red be sus.
Yeah, right? And no two people on the planet can look alike.
No,
That's
it's
just facts.
No. Even if you're like an identical twin, there's still some differences that people can tell them apart.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Jay-Z started this himself.
I don't know.
Or maybe Kanye West did.
So he doesn't really seem like he ages, right?
Mm-hmm.
He seems like he never seems to age. You thought he was 45. He's born in 69, so that's what, like 31 plus 22, so 53.
He's that old?
53. And then if you add on that he was possibly hanging around in 39, it's another 30, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
And he has a song called Forever Young.
Oh, he sang that song?
Right? He has a song called that. Yes.
Interesting.
Is that a coincidence? I think not. Also, apparently, and I cannot find evidence of this, only people saying it's true. So, it's obviously true. Because I can't find evidence.
Obviously.
So, Jay-Z's children are thought to be cousins with Prince William's children. And Prince Charles is descended from Vlad the Impaler, who's the namesake for Dracula.
Well, Vlad the Impaler was a real
vampire.
person. Yeah.
Yeah. Who was the premise for Dracula, who, vampire. So that's the vampire side of this theory, all tied up with a bow.
Because
right?
Vlad the Impaler did actually drink blood.
Yeah.
Because he put his victims on spikes.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Also, Jay-Z and Beyonce planning a trip to space.
Excuse me?
Apparently, yeah, they're trying to plan a trip to space. Because they're rich and she's Beyonce.
I guess they want the aliens to have Beyonce concert experience like us Earthlings.
I don't know. Also, the fact that he landed someone like Beyonce means he's working with something besides human, right?
You know what they say about them vampires.
Obviously, time-traveling vampires the only way he landed Beyonce, right?
They got sparkling skin.
Yeah. And
she was like, "Yas. Work it for me."
That is the worst of the vampires, though.
100% agree.
Yeah. Also, he keeps throwing up that triangle sign with his hands, which I kept trying to find out what that means for him. Because everybody else is like, Illuminati. But he keeps doing that. But I don't know what it means for him. So if he is like being like, Illuminati, does that help or not?
I don't know, because would vampires really be involved with the blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, blah, blah, blah? Yes, the lesser known sect of the Illuminati, the blah, 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 who are known for drinking the blood, blood, blood.
Would vampires really be associated with them, though? Because I feel like the Illuminati is opposite to them.
Oh, the Illuminati are all about those lizard people.
Exactly.
Which I'm getting into later, right? So, I don't know. Lizards also have fangs. Vampires have fangs. Fangs drink blood. Fangs take blood. I don't know.
Blood, beaters, Battlestar Galactica, space.
Space. Beyonce in space. Beyonce World Tour. Beyonce's Battlestar Galactica.
Beyonce
on Mars.
In the universe.
Beyonce on an asteroid.
Yes. Beyonce in a black hole.
I don't get this whole, how are Jay-Z's children related to Prince William's children?
The only way that they could be related is Jay-Z or Beyonce would have to have some member of their family that is either in the royal family or they're married to or they were married to. Like, there's a bunch of different scenarios, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Jay-Z is related to the queen.
I don't know.
The plot thickens. Dun, dun, dun.
Who knows? Who knows? But,
Interesting.
unless it has to do with the vampire thing, and it's not about, like, actual blood relation besides the whole vampire thing, Maybe Dracula was just going around biting people and was like, hey, Jay-Z, I'll bite you too.
Maybe that's
Now
how. Maybe
you're
like
that blood related.
maybe it's like how some people have their chosen family as opposed to like their blood related families. Maybe that's what they mean, that they're related.
They're Fang family.
They made a blood pact.
We're Fangly.
They're family. That's a good one. I appreciate that humor. Interesting.
I saw a video of a guy who was very high trying to explain this theory. And it wasn't good. It was very poor. Oh Lord, it was bad. It started with Prince Charles walking through like the foothills of like Scotland or something.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about his relation to Vlad the Impaler, and then he would stop at the video, and then he would show pictures of Jay-Z and pictures of Kanye and their merch with like pictures of them with fangs in their mouth and blood dripping from their teeth, like on their merch. And then he showed pictures of Rihanna with Medusa hair and fangs. And I was like, why are you showing Rihanna pictures? That has nothing to do with this.
Maybe she's a vampire too.
Yeah, but he's just talking about how JC's a vampire, right? So it made no sense.
That doesn't make sense at all.
No, and he did not mention anything about how Rihanna made any correlation to Jay-Z at all. And I'm like trying to follow this, and it doesn't make any sense. And then he's talking about how Kanye's in the picture. And I'm like, Kanye has not made any sense since like 2008.
Yeah, I was going to say, when was the last time Kanye actually made any logical sense?
2008.
Yeah.
That was a good year for him.
Yes.
And then he's like bringing in all this stuff. And then he just plays the song Vampire by I think it's like Gucci. And then he plays it. And it has nothing to do with Jay-Z at all. But he plays it for the rest of it. And he talks about how vampires are real. And I'm like, I'm still like, just like tapping my lip going, I still don't understand how he's making this point that Jay-Z is a time-traveling vampire. Because he started with Prince Charles, Vlad the Impaler, and he ended with listening to a song called Vampire by someone that's not Jay-Z. And at no point did he bring it back to Jay-Z.
Okay, it's mistake number one, you're trying to make sense of a high person's rant, and you just don't do that.
But it was just like, I'm going to drive you from, like, one side, like, A to B, but instead, I took you from A, and then I just, like, fucked right off.
You kind of went, and so it's basically how, like, Game of Thrones, for example, they started season 1, and they kept it pretty close to the book. Season 2, they kept it pretty close, but they started to veer off, and then season 3, they just went completely off the rails. That's what this guy did. Yeah, I was kind of like, whatever you took, you need to take the opposite of to go back in the opposite direction. Right? Or whatever you took, maybe you need more of, because you were on the right track. I was with you. I was with you when you had the band t-shirts with the blood in the mouth. But then you went to like Rihanna with Medusa hair and playing this vampire song, and then you just veered right off. And you went off the highway. You were rolling down to the ditch, and I couldn't save you. Yeah, that's basically what happened. What a shame. Such a shame. Such a shame. Such a shame. Such a tragedy. Yeah, but he did have one good thing to say. He said, and I quote, "Sprinkle some garlic on these motherfuckers." Wish I remembered his name to shout him out. Honestly, that's how I live my life, is just sprinkling garlic on motherfuckers, because my saying is there can never be such thing as too much garlic.
No, there cannot.
Because I fucking love garlic.
Well, that's the end of that theory.
Interesting. That's interesting.
I don't know what we learned from it.
I learned that you should never logically try and follow a stone man's rants because it just won't happen. So, ironically enough, my first one I have is about Keanu Reeves. I'm going to send you a picture.
Ooh.
Through text.
Okay. I have it.
Okay.
Oh my.
So, how old do you think Keanu Reeves is?
Well, before I got this picture, I would have said in his late 40s, maybe 50. But one of these pictures says 1530, as in the year, not the time of day in military speak.
So, basically, to piggyback off your theory, there are people who believe that Keanu Reeves is immortal.
I bet some of them are also believing that Jay-Z is a time-traveling vampire.
Probably. So, the basis of the theory is that he doesn't age. Because if you look at the 1991 picture versus the 2017 picture, and like I said, we will post these on our Instagram so you can look at them and come to your own conclusions. He doesn't look like he's aged. He's grown a beard, maybe his hair's a little longer, but other than that, he looks the same.
I will say that the 1995 picture looks like that he was not having a good year. It looks like he was having like a sickly year. So I don't know what was happening in his life. Honestly, but every other year he seems to have been like okay, but something in 1995 was not going well for that man.
Yeah. And it's kind of said that he's lived through many, many lives. So in the first picture, that is the ruler, Charlemagne. I'm not sure if you're familiar with who Charlemagne was.
Yes, I do know Charlemagne.
So for those who don't know, Charlemagne was the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Holy Roman Empire was technically just like Francia and what is now Austria and Germany and those places. Like the Roman Empire dissolved way before that, unless you count the Byzantine. Anyways, I'm getting on a tangent about history. We're not here for that. So the thing about that is with Charlemagne, his death was a little suspicious. And he did a few things before his death that seem a little odd. So one of the things he did was he crowned his son, the next ruler, just before he died.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knew he was going to die.
Seems awfully well thought out.
Mm-hmm. The next thing was when he died, his burial was rushed during the cold weather. So, like, they didn't take the time to do probably what they normally do, which is like a procession, and they probably have the body out for people to kind of pay their respects and everything. No. They rushed it, and they were like, we got to get this guy in the ground.
How did Charlemagne die?
It doesn't say in the theory.
Suspicious.
But let me do a quick Google search. Charlemagne. How did he die?
Yeah, Charlemagne death.
Oh, there was multiple Charlemagnes, apparently. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, there were so many Charlemagnes.
Charlemagne 1530 death. Let's look him up.
Yes. 1530.
Why are there so many?
Because apparently they like to name each other after their father, because that was a thing they did. I don't know why. Charlemagne, that's not the one. How many kids did he have? It doesn't say. Apparently his dad's name was Pepin the Short. That's kind of funny. That's one of the other Charlemagnes. Come on, which one is it? Wives, concubines, and children. Let's see. Charles the Younger.
Okay, Charlemagne died 1584. No, where are you?
Okay.
It just...
Preoccupied by Bratons. Dun, dun, dun. Anyways, we will find this.
Now, I typed in Charlemagne 1584 death, and it gave me Paul von Somm. Are you Charlemagne? No, none of those letters are in what I just typed.
No, that is weird. Charlemagne King. What was the cause of Charlemagne? What did Charlemagne do when he died? Why is this so hard to find?
Call Dr. Patey.
We're gonna
She'd know.
We're gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna have to message Dr. Patey. She knows. Anyways, apparently his death was suspicious. We'll have to find out how it was suspicious, why it was suspicious. You know, the Charles the Bald, is that the one we're looking for? No. Anyways, enough of this. I'm going to go down a rabbit hole and I don't want to do that. But anyway, so that's kind of where it was, where they're kind of like, why did they rush it? It doesn't make any sense.
It is suspicious.
So the next one that they kind of think is him, I think it's the picture of the guy from 1875, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
So that guy, his name is Paul Maunet. So he was a doctor, and then he became an actor. And as we all know, Keanu Reeves is a fantastic actor.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things about maybe why he was a doctor at first is because the rise of medical science could cause some problems for him being immortal. It doesn't really say what problems, but I think if we think about it logically, if they run like blood tests and all this kind of, I don't know if they did blood tests in the 1800s, we'll just assume. They did some sort of blood testing thing. They might discover some things if one's an immortal. I don't know what the makeup is if you're an immortal person, what the difference is between us mortals and them. Sparkly skin, I assume, is one of them. So he allegedly, heavy air quotes, died in 1922, but they never found his body.
Ooh, very suspicious.
Very suspicious. And kind of like the last thing, he is a quote that he has said, and they've kind of said that his amount of kindness and goodwill that Keanu Reeves is known for, they argue it can only be acquired in a long and wise life. Mm-hmm. So one example is, so with the Matrix sequel movies, he made 70 million pounds. I don't know what that converts to Canadian dollars, but it's a lot. He gave away 50 million of those 70 million.
Okay, 70 million pounds comes to almost 95 million US dollars.
Okay, so he gave away 50 million of that.
Yeah, so more than half.
Yeah, he gave away more than half.
Whoa.
And when he was asked about it, he said, quote, "Money is the last thing I think about. I could live on what I have made for the next few centuries," end quote.
Yeah, because he can.
I mean, that's just facts, but people are taking that as like he's got so much money stowed away that he can live on his stash because he's been alive since the Holy Roman Empire.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of all I could find on it, besides a lot of articles just being like, Keanu Reeves is immortal.
Yeah.
But I did find that interesting, especially with like, you know, saying like the bodies were never found and they rushed the burials and everything. It seems very odd.
Mm-hmm. It seems like a pattern, right? But to me, it also seems like if you were trying to hide, why would you pick like a profession that was so visible to the public, right? Like, why would you become an actor in this type of day and age where your face is going to be all over social media? Like, it is a great way to make a lot of money to live off of for centuries. But, like, unless he's like, well, this is the last one I'm doing.
Oh, maybe. Well, it's the same thing with the Jay-Z. Like, if he is actually a vampire, why is he in a profession that puts him out in public, you know? Like, if I was a vampire or an immortal, I certainly wouldn't be working in a profession that is very visible, because if by some off chance there's people who were alive when you were like when they were younger, like there's people in their 80s and stuff, and they see you, they might be like, huh, hang on, you look really familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And then the jig is up.
Yeah.
And then you get hunted.
Yeah. And then you think about it like back in, because like assuming this is a true thing, we do it like that. But like you think about it as like back in like 1500s and 1800s, like you didn't have all this technology, you didn't have all this social media and the amount of like widespread of information and photos and just news everywhere. So your face and information would not be spread everywhere. So like someone might have had a painting of you, but you could probably be like, oh yeah, that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
And go somewhere else in the world and no one would know that you're the same person.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at from 1991 to the 2017 picture, he looks like the almost exact same. So assuming that this is a true theory type of thing, and in 100 years from now, he's still going to be around and the technology is as it is, he's fucked.
Yeah, or even if technology becomes even more advanced, like he's fucked.
Yeah. Like he's getting locked up in a lab and we're going to study him.
Yeah,
and then
Keanu,
we're all going to be like, let's cut him up because mama needs a new liver.
They're like, let's cut him up to see how he does this so then we can make everybody else be immortal. It will probably only be the rich people.
Of course, it'll be,
and then,
you got to pay for it.
Yes, it'll be like $1 million to become immortal.
Yep. And Keanu will be in pieces.
Exactly. Or he'll just be in like a tube floating.
Mm-hmm.
Because they extract his immortal life force from him.
Mm-hmm. And then, once they create a bunch of immortals, then the planet will die and we'll just not have a planet at all. So we'll all just be like dying in space.
Yeah, well, this is assuming we don't kill the planet before all of this.
Yeah, it's just a matter of like how long it's going to take us to kill the planet.
I mean,
at the rate that be immortal before that?
Yeah, at the rate of Russia and Ukraine are going, who knows?
Who knows? I think if anyone's immortal, it looks like this guy. But I think he's also, like, someone should also talk to Paul Rudd, because I don't think he's aged in about 30 years either.
I think that's a theory, too, that Paul Rudd is also immortal. Either that, or these people have fantastic skincare routines, and they need to tell us what their secret is.
They're, like, bathing in the blood of virgins every night or something.
Oh, my God. Paul Rudd would never. He's too kind.
He's like a closet Satanist at night.
No, that would make me so sad if that was true, because he's a gem.
No.
Him and Keanu Reeves are in the same cult. They bathe together. That's somebody's fantasy right there.
Ryan Reynolds, I think.
Oh, no, Ryan Reynolds' fantasy is Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman. That's it.
My. Oh, my. Go on.
I think so.
Lizard people? You want to hear about them?
Sure.
Yeah, now that we've talked all about, the people, like all the other people and the people that can't die. So let's just talk about the people that aren't people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We got to cover all spectrums.
Yeah. So the people that aren't people, the lizard people, reptilians, if you will, sometimes called reptilian humanoids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's a conspiracy theory popularized by David Icke. Yeah, his last name is spelled Icke.
Icke.
Yeah, and he's apparently been called a Holocaust denier. So I like that his name is Icke.
Yes, and also you can go, ew, David.
I can go, David Icke.
Ew.
David Icke. I've been calling him David Icky, too, because he's icky.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
So the theory claims that shape-shifting reptilian aliens control Earth by taking on human form and gaining political power to manipulate human societies.
Okay.
So, you with me so far?
Yep.
And Mr. Ick has stated on multiple occasions that many of the world leaders are or are possessed by these so-called reptilians.
Okay.
So these lizard peoples, they're interdimensional, right? So they're not only from space, but they're from a different dimension. So they're not even from our space. They're from a different space.
Interesting.
Yes, because they couldn't just be from our space, like our outer space. They had to be from a different outer space.
Yes, they had to be from the multiverse.
Yes. And not the fun multi-Marvel verse,
No, the sad one.
Yeah. Anyway, they're also called Archons because they needed like another name. There's also like 700 different fucking names he puts on them. And he wrote like a whole bunch of books for profit because, that's fun. And definitely not what he's trying to do here with this theory he's coming up with. Definitely had no bearing on what he's doing.
Okay.
Right? Potential thing aside that I'm putting out there. Anyway, so Ick believes that an interdimensional race of reptilian beings called the Archons have hijacked the Earth and are stopping humanity from realizing its true potential. Yep. And because, that's not enough, they, have been trying to breed with humans to create like hybrids, and they feed off negative human energy and shit. And he'll write more books and stuff, and they shapeshift and all that, and they're scaly and creepy, and he keeps using the term Aryan when he's talking about non-reptilians. And if that doesn't go wee wee in your brain when you hear that, you got a problem.
Yeah.
This is when you go, there's something anti-Semitic about this theory.
Yeah, for those of you who may not know, and if you don't know, then we need to have a separate conversation at a different time.
Because he also goes into more detail in these books to say that when he uses the term Aryan, he means the white race.
Oh boy. Great.
Make sure he's clear on that.
He has to clarify that he means only the white people, no one else.
Yeah, anyway. So, moving on. So, apparently, that the first reptilian human breeding programs took place 200,000 to 300,000 years ago and may have even created Adam, as in Adam and Eve Adam.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on, no.
Yeah. So he keeps writing more and more books, and every time he writes a new book, it seems to bring in a new theory, like a new layer to this theory. So it like talks about like Babylonian shit and a whole bunch of other shit and a whole bunch of other shit, and I don't really want to get into it because it's a whole bunch of
shit
stuff. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff. It's not the fun stuff. And then it gets on to like Holocaust denial and shit. And then he's like, but I'm not a Holocaust denier. And they're like, but we know you are. You keep talking about Aryan shit. And he's like, but I'm not. And they're like, well, stop saying Aryan and white race shit. And then he's like, but I don't say that. And he's like, what? It's in your book, dude. Right? But
So I gotta know.
Yes.
Do you have a list of people that he thinks are reptilians?
I have a list.
Okay, excellent.
I have some people.
Excellent.
I have some things. Rachel.
Yes.
There's some people on this list. Okay. So, as of 2003, Ick claims the reptilian bloodline includes all 43 American presidents as of 2003. British and 2 Canadian prime ministers.
Okay.
Several Sumerian kings and Egyptian pharaohs. And a smattering of celebrities. Just a smattering.
2003, man, he got to update his list.
Yeah, I got an updated one later.
Okay.
Yeah. But key bloodlines are said to include the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, various European aristocratic families, and the British House of Windsor. The royal family?
No, not the Queen.
Baby Charlotte? Baby Charlotte is a lizard person?
No.
Yes.
No.
He has claimed, Mr. Ick has claimed that British Prime Minister Ted Heath's eyes have turned jet black during an interview in 1989. He also said in 2016 that the whole royal family, shape-shifting lizards, the whole thing. And he said that the Queen Mother is seriously reptilian. His own words.
Seriously reptilian.
Seriously reptilian.
Sounds like a spinoff of like Totally Kyle from the Amanda Show. Seriously reptilian.
Yeah. This week on Seriously Reptilian. And because every time he writes a new book and he comes out with it, he like renames everything. Right? Like I think he just like thinks he's like the next like J.K. Rowling or something, and he's just gonna like be like, and in the next one, we come out with a new thing. A whole bunch of shit, right? And he like puts a new spin on everything. He then started calling it in like 2018. He's like, the reptilian plot is now called the unseen. Like, put a new spin on it. The plot is the unseen. The appearance of the unseen. Like it's like what? You can't just rebrand it every couple of years to sell more books.
Well, apparently you can. I bet you he has a wheel.
I think he's like a dartboard, and he just puts a bunch of words up there, and he's like, what are we calling it today?
And he throws his darts or he spins his wheel, and whatever it lands on is what he's calling it.
And that's what happened, I bet. And he had Aryan up there, and it hit, and he was like, fuck. I was really hoping for something not anti-Semitic today.
He's like, well, I gotta use Aryan. I hit it with my dart.
Like, I really shouldn't have put it there. He's also British. I should do a British accent. I don't think I can do it, though.
No, I was about to say, do not attempt to do a British accent.
I could. Seriously reptilian.
Seriously reptilian. Oh, that was Australian.
I want to do it like, where she's like, Hermione is like, or worse, expelled. Right? She would get killed, or worse, expelled. Right?
Or worse, seriously reptilian.
Seriously reptilian. That wasn't too bad.
That wasn't too bad, no.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Okay.
We haven't offended everybody yet.
Okay, so now I'm going to give you a crash course in how to identify a lizard person, because when you are out there on the front lines, Rachel, you need to know how to keep yourself safe, because those lizard people, they're trying to manipulate you. They're trying to get in your head, and they're trying to steal your energy, right? They're trying to drain you. They're trying to manipulate you. They're trying to take from you.
Okay.
You need to keep yourself safe.
Tell me how to keep myself safe.
Okay, you need to know how to identify one to protect yourself so you can get the fuck away from one. Because all you can do is really run the other way. Because the best thing you can do is get the power back to yourself. Because if you can identify one, then they can no longer manipulate you. Okay, first thing you need to know about them, very sensual. They are very sensual beings. They feed off human energy. They siphon our spirits. And the easiest way they do this is by copulation. Do not copulate one, Rachel.
Okay.
It's also how they try to dominate us, Rachel.
Okay.
Do not let them dominate you.
Okay.
Also, if they ingest meat, they smell funny. So you feed them a burger and then you go sniff, sniff. I have read that if they ingest meat, they smell like a ripe armpit. So, and it also could make them aggressive, which is dangerous.
Okay.
They may avoid sunlight, and they overheat very easily. So they will also avoid the sunlight and the heat. They're also super manipulative. And they exist simply to crush everyone around them and harvest the negative human energy. And it's about this point in the list that I realized I was describing myself.
I was about to say, Melanie, I think I'm a reptilian.
Yeah. This is where I went, oh shit. Oh shit.
Especially when you said the thing about heat, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, I avoid sun. I am so pale. Oh God.
I think I'm a reptilian.
Then I was like, we'll gaslight you. Lose power over you once they are discovered. And I was like, emotionless. They have no idea how to act human. Right? I was like, okay. They have an RH blood type. I have no idea what that fucking means. And then I was like, hate cats. And I was like, perfect. I'm out of the list.
Okay. Also, the fact that emotionless, that immediately cuts me out because I can't tell you how many times I've seen Endgame and Infinity War. And every time, I still cry at the exact same spots, even though I know it's coming.
Yeah. Mr. Stark? Mr. Stark?
I don't want to go. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. Pulls on my heartstrings.
They hate cats. And why they hate cats is because cats have a preternatural sensibility to sense when an interdimensional creature is near. Now say that 5 fucking times fast, because I can't.
I'm going to need you to repeat that again.
Okay, let me do this again.
Okay.
Take 2. Okay. Cats have a preternatural sensibility to sense when an interdimensional creature is near. So basically, cats detect lizard people.
Okay, so I think...
So basically, take Hexa, point her at people. If she hisses, you found a lizard person.
Excellent. She's going to be my defense tool now.
Yes. Bring her everywhere. I'm
get a backpack and put her in it.
Yeah. Point her at things, at people. If she hisses, lizard person, run the other way.
Yes.
If she doesn't, that person's clear. Also, the lizard people, they wear you down. So if you get very tired around a person, it is because they are lizard person.
What if that person's just boring?
Run away as well.
Okay.
Good advice all around.
Because there's some people I work with that I'm just like, I don't have the time nor energy to want to be dealing with you in any circumstance.
Yes. Well, they shouldn't be in your vicinity anyway. Just run.
Okay.
Yeah. Just get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the lizard people, they also compartmentalize their social lives. So they don't want their parts of their lives to be interacting because they're trying to manipulate you, right? And if you see into the other parts, you might realize that you're being manipulated. Especially because the one side might have cats. And then you would hiss, and then they'd know. So basically, lizard people are vegetarians who have a lot of sex, that don't go outside, and they're really pale. They're manipulating you all over the place, and they hate cats.
Okay.
So say it with me. Hillary Clinton. Yes.
Oh. Okay. Caught me off guard a little bit.
That's one of the main ones, they think.
Okay. I've heard they think Justin Bieber is one too.
Yes, Justin Bieber. So we've got...
There's like a thing going around, or there was a thing where apparently somebody saw his eye do that, like, you know, that reptilian thing where they have like the other lid. Well, I don't know the technical term, but the second lid like go across sideways on your eye.
Yeah. Yep. So Justin Bieber, they think that. The entire royal family, they think they're all fucked. Every president, I think, except Trump, might have been the only one they don't think was.
Because he's not smart enough?
No, I don't know if... I think that might be the only one they think was not. They might think he was the only one that was not affected. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, so every president, they were all up like Obama was like really messed up or something. So Hillary Clinton, they thought for sure. Rihanna, total lizard. Avril Lavigne, Canadian lizard.
But isn't Avril Lavigne supposedly dead and she got replaced with a doppelganger?
Probably just a lizard in people's skin. Elvis Presley was a lizard.
Okay.
Or could be still a lizard and just in hiding. Who knows? So Kate and Prince William, lizards.
Mm-hmm.
Meghan Markle, robot. That's a conspiracy theory. It's a separate conspiracy theory. Thought I'd just throw that out there.
Okay. Instead of duck, duck, goose, it's lizard, lizard, robot.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie, lizard. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what we're dealing with.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Lizard people
so
kind of
anyone
sound
with a
like
cat,
they're
safe.
sociopaths.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the lizard people, if they have a cat, they're safe, right? If they have a cat, they're not a lizard person.
Mm-hmm.
Cats would never trust a lizard person.
Cats don't trust anybody in general.
No, but definitely not a lizard person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the lizard people, some of them are just lizards in disguise as humans because they're shapeshifters. And some of them are lizard-human hybrids because lizards fucked people. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And David Icke is the ickiest.
I wonder if he wants to fuck a lizard person.
He may be a lizard person.
Maybe that's why he writes
the
so many
whole
books. Hiding in plain sight.
I wonder if he has a lizard. Like, what if he has a pet lizard and that poor pet lizard has been abused?
Don't go there. Don't go there.
I'm already there, Rachel.
No, the poor lizard. Interesting. Now I know how to find a lizard person. And now, listeners, so do you.
Mm-hmm. Well, he thinks they're very sexual.
But I wonder what he defines as very sexual, because it's different for each person. Like, what does he quantify as very sexual?
Siphoning our spirits.
So,
Rachel,
do they siphon it when they fuck you?
He calls it copulation, but yes.
Okay, so
you have to know the truth and let the truth into your heart, and let love in your heart, and that's the only way you can fight back against the lizards. I
just had a thought. Instead of like, instead of a guy releasing, what if it like sucks up the stuff?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Just clarify.
So fourth Harry Potter movie, Goblet of Fire, right? Remember Barty Crouch Jr.?
Yes.
Remember that like tongue thing he had?
Mm-hmm.
That little like lick thing out?
Oh yeah, the little.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lizard person.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I picture. I picture like that, like popping out, little, right? Mm-hmm. And be like, I'm being a human. I'm being so human right now.
I'm being so human.
I swear. I'm humaning so hard.
Look at me being a human with my human tongue.
Ooh, fly. Ooh. I am drinking from this human receptacle. I am drinking human drink from human receptacle.
I am doing things with my human arms.
I am sitting with human legs on human chair. Ha ha ha. Oh. I laugh with human throat. Ha ha ha.
Oh man. Interesting.
Things that people believe.
Yeah. Any more on the lizard people, or?
You don't want me to get into the slavery aspect of it.
Oh
No, I'm not touching that.
no, let's not. Let's not and say we did.
No. Mm-mm.
If you're really curious, I guess people can do their own Google search.
Yes, I refuse.
But I would probably not Google it just if you find that stuff upsetting. It's kind of a perfect segue to my next one.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so I'm going to say some trigger warnings for this next one. There is discussion of death, drug use, and abortion. So if any of that makes you uncomfortable, just skip over this next one. We don't want people to be disturbed by that if it's something that makes you really uncomfortable. So just skip over this next one because it's pretty dark. So this
Maybe
one
we
is
can put the timestamp.
yeah, we'll put the timestamps in the description so you can skip over this one if this one upsets you in any way. So this one is about the Rugrats, beloved 90s show that we all know and love. And the theory is everyone in the Rugrats is dead except Angelica.
Interesting.
So the theory goes that Angelica dreamed up the Rugrats, so that would be Chucky, Dill, Phil and Lil, and Tommy, because she was lonely.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a few of them that they say are real. So, for example, Dill, which is Tommy's younger brother, it's said that he's real because she can't make him disappear when she's frustrated.
Okay.
And also, her friend Susie is real, and she kind of puts up with these friends because this is something that Angelica uses as a coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably wondering, well, what happened to the Rugrats if they're all apparently dead? I'm going to tell you. So, as we may or may not know, Chucky's mom died in a car accident. And this theory says Chucky was in the car with her and he also died.
Ooh.
And that explains why his dad is very neurotic.
Mm-hmm.
And Kimmy, she was introduced in Rugrats in Paris. Kimmy's mom, who Chucky's dad ends up marrying, is a sex worker.
Oh.
So this
is that part of the conspiracy theory, or is that
it is
that
part
canon?
It's part of the conspiracy theory.
Okay.
So it's that Chaz Finster, which is Chucky's dad, he goes to Paris and he meets a sex worker named Kira, which is Kimmy's mom. So he marries her and brings her to the US, and then Kira loses custody of her daughter because it's discovered that she's a sex worker and a drug addict.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that Angelica knows about her is because Kira is always talking about Kimmy because she misses her.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I have a whole issue with the fact that they made her lose custody because she was a sex worker. Like, that's a valid form of employment, and they deserve the same respect that us people who work desk jobs do.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, our favorite Tommy, was a stillborn.
Okay.
And this caused his dad Stu to go nuts, which is why he spends all of his time in their basement making toys, because that's how he deals with his grief, which is, in sense, his coping mechanism. And now for the twins, Phil and Lil. It said that their mom had an abortion before their biological sex was revealed.
Okay.
So it says that Angelica is aware that they would have been twins. So she makes one a boy and a girl because that's how her child brain works.
Okay.
So like I said, they don't know if it was a boy and a girl, two boys, two girls, that kind of thing.
Yeah, she just makes one each.
Yeah. And now, you know Cynthia, her doll that she carries around? In this theory, they say Cynthia represents Angelica's biological mom.
Okay.
So the theory
Do we ever
goes that,
see her biological mom?
well, this is the thing. Like, we don't know if Charlotte is her biological mom or not. But
Okay.
in this part, her biological mom was a drug addict and she died of an overdose.
Oh.
And Charlotte is the stepmom.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the opposite of Angelica's biological mom, so that she's focused on her career and doesn't give Angelica attention and love, which is why she dreams up these other characters to have somebody to boss around and play with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the. Are we sufficiently sad? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, pretty sad.
Yeah, when I read that, I was like, it's very dark.
Yeah.
And I want to know whoever came up with this, because I couldn't find who came up with this. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you need to talk?
That is like some very, very dark shit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of dark ones surrounding like Disney as well that I've come across.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you like think and wonder what is going on with the people, like if there's something going on that we don't know about that makes them come up with this stuff, because basically to have kind of like almost every form of some type of death in it is a lot.
Yeah.
Especially because when you think about the Rugrats, it's all like the theme song's like do 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 do
Yeah,
do.
so upbeat and like it's all like babies.
Mm-hmm.
Babies shouldn't be like really dark and depressed or like that, and like depraved.
Yeah, they shouldn't be saying all these things happen to.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that Girl Guy cookies?
No, my parents are coming home and the lock was frozen apparently.
Oh,
So
interesting.
key couldn't work.
Hmm.
Yeah, they were gone out for Valentine's Day.
Aw, so
Yeah.
romantic.
And now Eli is not barking like crazy, but is whining like crazy because he's been out. They're so excited they're home.
Of course. Because that's what doggos do.
Yeah, especially because he was barred out of my room here for recording because otherwise he would be jumping on the bed, jumping off the bed,
Mm-hmm.
and all that and being very noisy.
Yeah, I had to kick Hexa off the table because she was rubbing her face against my notebook. So she's currently
Okay.
curled up on the couch asleep.
Okay, where were we with the Rugrats depression episode?
Just saying that, everybody's dead.
Yes, everybody's dead. It's almost like Lost. Did you
Yeah.
ever watch Lost? It was like you're watching it for so long and then it's like, hey guys, remember everybody's dead. Nothing matters.
I've heard about it, but I kind of have never watched it. It kind of reminds me of this theory reminds me of the movie. I don't know if you ever saw it, Sucker Punch.
Oh, yeah, I did.
But that's kind of what it reminds me of because, like,
Yeah.
she has a world within a world to kind of escape her reality.
Mm-hmm.
And Sucker Punch, she ends up getting a lobotomy and stuff, and that's also sad.
Yeah. Ugh, it's such a weird theory, though. Like,
Yeah.
it sounds almost like the person who wrote the show was doing it like that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sound like someone came up with it like a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, because it's almost the thing about this one is I found that it's so detailed and like what happened to every single character in it. It's not just like a generic, like, oh, they're all dead. And Angelica imagines them. It's like this person died this way, this person died this way. So it almost is like you said, the creators are the ones who put it out there or something, or they've said something that has made people think that,
Yeah, it's like logical
Mm-hmm.
and almost like in-depth work done.
Mm-hmm.
Like background story done and everything.
Yeah, and I think those are the ones that people tend to believe more is when there's more like in-depth background information about it as opposed to just being like the earth is flat.
Yeah, and I don't remember Rugrats. Like I haven't seen it since I was a kid. So I don't
Hmm.
remember enough about it to remember like whether the kids were like those babies were around Angelica and whether they were enough to know if they were just around her or if they were around other characters to be able to think about that and see
Hmm.
if they were real to other people in the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, I don't remember enough about it either. I do remember the thing I remember most is just like Rugrats in Paris and this whole thing with like Reptar because they were all obsessed with Reptar. And I think I don't know if it's the same one, but there's another one where like Tommy hates his younger brother Dill because he's taking all the attention and he goes to dump like banana puree on him so all these monkeys will attack him. And that's about all I remember from Rugrats.
I really just remember like the visuals of it, like the animation style
Hmm.
and like the look of the characters
Hmm.
and kind of like the sound of the voices because like some of those voices were really distinctive
Yeah.
more than I really remember some of the story.
Yeah, I think I know Chucky kind of sounded a bit like this, I think.
Yeah, and I feel like Angelica had a really like raspy,
Yeah.
but like also like a nasally kind of thing. Like she had like an annoying sounding
Hmm.
voice, right?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, but I do like those kind of things with stories, like in with shows where there's all these like theories of stuff with people reading into it and going into stuff and being like, well, I think the author was doing this, or I think the creator was doing this, and like trying to like figure things out and that stuff.
Hmm.
I like that stuff.
Yeah, I find it
Mhm.
interesting. It's just, I think when it comes to kids' shows and kids' movies and stuff, there's no need to make it as dark as it went. Like, if you're doing
Yeah.
it for an adult type thing or even a young adult, that's fine.
Hmm. Yeah, as long as it doesn't get back to the kids anyway.
Yes, because you don't want to traumatize the kids. I don't even know if kids watch Rugrats nowadays.
I don't know. Wasn't there like some type of remake or reboot or something?
Yeah, it was Rugrats
Or
all grown up,
yeah, because they
but I
always
don't
try to
think
bring
that's.
stuff back around
Yeah.
to be like, hey, remember when you were a kid? You must have children now. Make them watch what you watch.
I mean, I will say if I have kids, there are shows that they will be watching that I watch. Like, they will not have a choice. And they will also
Well,
be watching Land Before Time. They will not have a choice.
well, I will not have kids, so they will not have to watch these things. I will have furry children, and they will have to wear things that I put on them, but they will not have to be subjected to watching things.
Yes. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, you really had to put the downer on this, Rachel.
I did. I'm sorry. See if you can bring us up a little bit, because this is all sad now.
Yeah. Well, want to talk about Nelson Mandela dying? That's what I
Sure.
want to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah. Woo. Because my next one's the Mandela effect, which is named after him.
Oh, I
So,
didn't know it was named after him.
yeah, it's where it got the name. But the name was only given to it in like 2010, but it's kind of been a thing that's been around longer than that. But the
Hmm.
name only came to it in about 2010.
Interesting.
So, back around 2010, well, actually, no, more like 2013 ish, when Nelson Mandela died,
Hmm.
people had this whole uproar. Well, actually, for the second time. In
Hmm.
2010, people had this realization that, hey, Nelson Mandela's still alive?
Okay.
What? Yeah. Because some people were convinced that Nelson Mandela died in South Africa in 1985.
Hmm.
They said the nation mourned, his wife gave a memorable eulogy, it was all in the news, and a lot of people remembered it happening. But
Hmm.
it didn't happen. He was released from prison in 1990, and he was president of South Africa from 94 to 99 and didn't die until 2013.
Okay.
So why the hell did so many people think he died in the 80s? And it was this big urban legend, right? And so in 2010, there was this big uproar over it, right? Like it went viral, this story about like basically there was like over 200,000 people that believed, like a big thread on Reddit, that Nelson Mandela died in the 80s. And they all remembered the funeral service being widely publicized and on the internet and on the news, and seeing the eulogy like televised.
Mm-hmm.
And they all talked about it on the Reddit thread.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 2010, a paranormal researcher named Sophia Broom, coined the term the Mandela effect, which about this misremembered funeral and for basically a big collective misremembering of an event. Of in general, not just this one event, but because this was like the one big one that happened, they named it after this event. So basically, anytime there's like a big group of people that misremember a certain event or a thing, anything, even if it's like a line in a movie, when there's enough of a group of people who have like a false memory, a shared false memory, then that's called the Mandela effect. So basically, true believers of the Mandela effect describe it as evidence that there's an alternate reality or multiple alternate realities. So like multiple universes.
Multiverse.
Yes. And that there's possibly like multiple realities going on, like parallel universes going on exactly as we are right now. And the evidence is basically people having these false memories, but they're not false according to this theory. Right? So there is a theory within this theory that it might have been because of the Large Hadron Collider, that there was an issue with that when it fired up in 2008, that it might have flung atoms around and caused splits that might have started these things. Or it could have just been around for all time, and now we're just kind of having all the technology around to kind of notice and gather enough people to really check on things. And that we're all in the state of flux constantly, and now we're just talking about it.
Okay.
So, the Mandela one, the false memory about him dying back in the 80s, and then everybody, in 2010, there was that news article that went around, and everybody was like, oh shit, look, he's alive. And then in 2013, it happened again when he actually died, and they were like, wait, he's alive. Oh wait, he died again, a second time, right? But then there's people trying to disprove it, because they're like, people can all have this like false memory, and then just because it could be a false memory just for the fact that if you thought it was something, like if you had something in your childhood and you thought it was true, and then you talked about it with someone, you can then both remember it that way. So like if we thought we remembered something one way and we talked about it, and we both kind of said like, oh yeah, that's how I remember it too, then we both have then just kind of like confirmed it for each other, even though we might have confirmed it the wrong way. So then we both like positively reinforced it to ourselves. So it's just on a bigger scale. So people have tried to disprove it that way. So some of the examples of it though are fun. Do you remember the Berenstain Bears?
Yes.
There's a big kerfuffle over that, about how it's spelled.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's Berenstain. Stain.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
And I remember it as Steen, like Stein.
I'm pretty sure all the books I had said Steen.
Yeah, I do too. I remember Steen. I remember it on the show. I remember in the, like, on the books. And so does Lexi, my another one of my friends, and Rachel knows her too.
Yeah.
And so Rachel remembers it as Steen as well. But it's not. I've looked it up. The pictures are Stain. The videos and the clips of the show, Stain, Stain. And that is all that says that. So it could be evidence of the Mandela effect or a false memory. We could be from a different timeline, Rachel. We got put into this one and switched into this one. We didn't know. Who knows? Look it up. Google it. But right now, it's Berenstain.
No.
Yes.
No.
Did you not know this? Did you not know this theory?
I've heard about it, but no.
Berenstain Bears one is my favorite. I love Mandela effect.
No.
Oh, Rachel. I did
No.
not know I was going to ruin your day tonight.
No, that's no.
Oh, Rachel.
My whole childhood was a lie.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Oh, sweetie.
Sad panda.
Yeah. So there's a couple of options. Either it's a false shared memory with a whole bunch of other people that are on the same boat as us, like hundreds of thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
Or we are all from a different timeline that got shifted into this one.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I don't know, we're fucked? I don't know.
God, everything is a lie.
Or, like, someone changed it in between just to, like, fuck with people? I don't know. There's a bunch of different things, though. Also, the Fruit of the Loom logo.
Oh, don't do this to me. No.
Does it have a cornucopia on it?
Yes.
It doesn't.
No, it does.
I had this today, and I swear to God it does. Rachel, if this is true, if this is a true conspiracy theory, me and you, we're from the same friggin' timeline. We're besties.
No, it has.
We're from the same timeline. It doesn't. Look it up.
No, hang on. Hang on. Fruit. Oh, that's not how you spell fruit. Of the loom.
Right?
Oh, my life is a lie.
Yeah.
No, it has the cornucopia. No.
And I believe you because I saw it too when I was a child at Walmart.
Yes.
But it does not today. And the internet tells me it never did. So, Rachel, something tells me you're not going to be able to sleep tonight.
I haven't slept well at all this week since I didn't tell you this, but Monday I experienced my first sleep paralysis incident, so I have not been sleeping well at all this week.
Oh shit. Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh. Before Monday, how'd you feel about cornucopias on Fruit of the Loom?
I was very confident that there was a cornucopia because I distinctly remember getting those underwear as a child and there was a cornucopia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since Monday, my whole life is a lie because I had sleep paralysis and everything is just upside down.
Mm-hmm. So, the movie Shazam, you ever seen it?
I have not.
There was apparently a movie called Kazam with Shaq. There's a genie that played basketball from the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's apparently a misremembering of people who thought there was also a movie from the 90s called Shazam with Sinbad, who was a genie.
Okay, yes.
That wasn't true, though. So, because Kazam with Shaq, the basketball player genie, was true.
Mm-hmm.
But Shazam with Sinbad was not a real thing. But everybody thought that part was true. I did too. I'd never seen the movie, but I thought that was a thing. But they think that part was because of Sinbad being in Sinbad the Sailor movies and also being in a genie commercial from the same time.
Okay, that would make sense.
So that one might be explainable.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's a bunch of movie lines that are weird that people think happen. You ever seen Silence of the Lambs?
I haven't, but I've seen clips.
Well, Hannibal Lecter supposedly says, "Hello, Clarice,"
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's quoted all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He never says it.
No.
He never says it in the movie at
No.
all. Not once.
No.
You know what he says?
What does he say?
Good morning.
No.
That's all he says. Good morning.
No.
He does not say hello, Clarice at all.
No.
Yep,
Oh
does
my
not
God.
say it at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure he never says hello, Clarice at all in any of the Hannibal series at all. Like, I didn't see the Hannibal series actually. I mean, like any of the movies that they made with Anthony Hopkins afterward.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure the only time that hello Clarice is said is they made a show called Clarice on TV now, which is following just like someone playing Clarice, and it's not like Hannibal Lecter isn't in it, but it's her after she catches the guy from Silence of the Lambs. Like it's supposed to be like a spin-off from that, and they made sure to have someone say hello Clarice in that because people have been like saying hello Clarice.
Because he says it.
He doesn't though.
Oh my God, no.
Also, Star Wars.
No, don't do this to me.
There's a very famous line. Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
He does not say that.
No, Melanie, don't.
He says, I am your father, Luke.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he says, Luke, I am your father.
He says, I am your father, Luke.
No.
And it has been misquoted. The, React channels, you know, like the Fine Bros do the React channel things.
Mm-hmm.
They actually have like a Mandela Effect episode where they did like misquotes from movies, and they actually did. I'm pretty sure they did the Star Wars one, and they did Silence of the Lambs and stuff. But the Luke, I am your father was for sure in it, and they were like, I am your father, Luke, and they were like, what the fuck?
And I bet you everybody who was there lost their goddamn mind like I did. And
They
were
did.
Like, no,
they were
that's
like, that's
wrong.
not what it said. Yeah, they were like, that's not what the movie said. You switched it. And no, that is exactly how it was.
Now I need to go back and watch Star Wars.
And that is the thing. Is it a misremembering because somebody, like, enough people are saying something that people believe it?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a different timeline? Like, is it from a different time frame? Are we in a different, are we on a different one?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? And I have turned your brain to mush.
But like this week has already been rough. It was default day today at work, and like I said, I had sleep paralysis and I haven't been sleeping well since, and now this has just ruined me.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna cry in the shower after this, I think.
The Mandela Effect is my absolute favorite all-time conspiracy theory. Number 1, get me a t-shirt. I would wear it every fucking day.
Okay, your birthday's in like a few months, so I will get you a t-shirt that says that.
Yes, the Berenstein Bears part of it is my favorite. It did ruined my life for a little bit, the Berenstein Bears part.
Mm-hmm.
But I got over it. And now I enjoy it. And I enjoy taking the joy out of other people with it.
Because you're a lizard person.
Because I am a lizard person, but I do enjoy cats. They enjoy me.
You've seduced them somehow.
Okay, let's not do that. Let's not say that. Because as a lizard person, I am very sensual.
You seduce
but
them
not with cats.
Oh my God. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. Let's talk birds.
Wow. Yeah, let's go birds.
Let's talk birds. Melanie, what are your opinion on birds?
I like them less than cats.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But better than rats.
Do you like them more than bats? And is that a fact?
Don't know. I don't know.
So, did you know that apparently birds are not real?
I heard something about this.
So, This theory was created by Peter McInerney, and he just came up with it one day. He woke up and he said, I'm going to choose violence and say that birds are not real.
I wonder if he woke up like Mandela effect style, like from a different timeline, and was like,
Maybe he did.
Birds are real.
So all the birds in the U.S., and this is mainly in the U.S., unsure about all the Canadian birds.
Okay.
But, I mean, them Canada geese be vicious.
Mm.
So if they're drones, which is what this theory says, that all birds are drones,
Okay.
there's some vicious drones.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, all birds are drones, and they're operated by the U.S. government to spy on the American citizens.
What in the Hitchcock?
So he says, McInerney, that's his name, there we go, says that between 1959 and 1971, the government murdered all the birds, or as I like to call it, they committed birder.
Birder.
And they replaced them all with drones.
Okay.
Now, to kind of go with that, the theory also states that U.S. President John F. Kennedy, who we all know and love, was assassinated by the government because he refused to kill all the birds.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Checks out.
So some Secret Service came up and said, yo, Mr. President, sir, you got to kill all these birds. And John F. Kennedy said, what? No.
He was like, no, I love me some turtle doves.
And they were like, all right, well then, you got to die.
He gots to go.
Assassinated.
And they took him out with a sniper rifle from a crow's nest.
Oh, yes. The person who shot him was a drone. So apparently that the reason the birds sit on the power lines is that they do that so they can recharge themselves.
That makes a lot of sense. It does.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
wire full charging.
Yep. And apparently when they poop on cars, they poop because that's how they track them. So I was thinking about this the other night. And I thought, okay, so if the birds poop on the car and that's supposed to track them, what happens if you get a car wash? Does your tracking go away? Does the tracking somehow meld into the metal of the car, or does the bird have to re-poop on the car to track you?
I guess that's why there's so many and why they keep doing it.
So do they keep a track and be like, okay, that car go into a car wash, send a swarm of pigeons so at least one of them tracks on the car?
I just picture someone in an office, right? And they're just like, oh no, the Hyundai is clean again. Send a swarm of pigeons. Go, go, go.
Go, go, go. Squadron C, go.
Send your best squadron. Send Mr. Pickles. Mr. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles, the most precise pooper.
The most precise pigeon pooper there was.
So apparently also the tax dollars in the U.S. are funneled into building something called the Turkey X500.
Okay.
Which is a robot used to hunt large birds.
But it's called a turkey.
I know.
How would a turkey hunt large birds?
It's a robot.
Does it look like a turkey?
I don't know.
Does it taste like a turkey?
I don't know.
Does it have anything to do with turkey?
I don't know. Did they make it as a turkey so it's not as intimidating? And then it just shoots lasers?
I just picture it. Okay, just picture it as a giant robot turkey.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also use it in the Thanksgiving Macy's.
The Macy's
parade. It's if we make it as a giant robot turkey, we can also use it in the parade. So and it's your tax dollars at work.
Oh, and it's a spin-off of Robot Chicken, Robot Turkey.
Yeah. It's a multi-use.
And apparently, in 2019, there was a billboard put on display in Memphis, Tennessee that just said, "Birds aren't real." There's actually a lot of people who have come behind this theory from what I was reading, and the guy who created it was like, I did not expect it to take off like this, but all right, here we go. Birds aren't real. Pigeons are fake. Bald eagles are, Russian spies. Go Mother Russia.
Oh my. What the hell? How does someone come up with this?
I have no idea. Like I said, I want to know what possessed somebody to wake up one morning and decide birds weren't real.
I mean, I have many thoughts about there's things that pass through your head. And you're like, if I say this out loud, I'd be institutionalized. But
Yes.
somehow these people aren't. But yet so many people have been just like jumped on board and been like, you know what? This person, I like what he says. I think he's got something to it.
They're like, I like the cut of your jib.
Yeah, I think we should take it one step farther. Giant turkey robot.
That kills the other birds.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of it is the fact that they think that John F. Kennedy was assassinated because he didn't want to kill the birds. He just loved birds too much and couldn't do it.
I'd like to know like what proof they have. Like, do they have like a picture of him like with a t-shirt that says like I heart birds or something?
No, there's no proof. He just came up with it one day.
It's like, do they have something like, was he like in a bird watching club in his childhood?
Maybe.
Or something? Was he in the Boy Scouts? Did he have like a badge for bird watching?
Maybe he was an Eagle Scout.
Oh, that was probably it. And they were like, he's an Eagle Scout. He'll never go for killing the birds. We must kill him.
Birds.
Maybe they never asked him. Maybe they didn't ask him. They were like, he's an Eagle Scout. He'll never go for this. Kill him.
Maybe.
And maybe if they asked him, it would all changed. It would all went different. It wasn't the Cold War that did him in. It was the birds.
It was the birds. Yes, it was not the issues between Soviet Union, Russia, and the US. It was the fact that he did not want to kill the birds. He was like, no, thank you. I'd rather not.
A bunch of people in a room just going, should we bring this to John? Should we bring our plans for the birds to John? It's like, no, he was an Eagle Scout. We can't bother him with this. We should just kill him.
He had a parrot as a kid. We can't do that.
His mother had a parakeet. We can't do this to him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We should just kill him.
Yeah, I'm actually currently looking up to see if there's anything that said he had a bird that would help him. Because I'm curious. Because I want to know why he thought that, hey, let's just throw John F. Kennedy into this, and why not? Let's see.
Oh.
Now
JFK had parakeets.
Did he?
Yep.
Oh, that's why.
JFK's parakeets. Bluebell. What the hell just happened with my mouth?
You got possessed.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just got possessed by like a Southern woman.
You did.
Bluebell.
Bluebell.
JFK's parakeets, Bluebell and Marybell. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They had parakeets. So they had a dog and a horse and a pair of parakeets. So obviously they were like, we can't go to him to kill the birds. He's got two of them in his house.
Or, you know what? They went to go kill his parakeets. Mm-hmm. And he stopped them. Mm-hmm.
Or they were like, we need to kill all the birds because they're in his ear. The birds are manipulating the president.
The parakeets are there whispering like...
They're like, you should talk to Russia.
You
You should become communist.
Talk to Fidel Castro. Talk to Gorbachev.
How do you feel about the Berenstein Bears?
How do you feel about lizard people?
How do you feel about cats? You should avoid eating meat.
Become
and,
vegetarian.
Copulate with lizards.
Oh, man. So, yeah, birds aren't real. Life isn't real. That's what we've learned today.
Yes, we've also learned that if you would like to start a conspiracy theory, just, rebrand it every few months, publish lots of books, make no sense at all, and just keep repeating shit, and people will keep believing it.
That's all you gotta do. That's the foolproof plan. Come up with an idea or spin it off something that's already out there, and then just go ham.
Yes, and repeat. And eventually someone will say it. And then they'll keep repeating it.
Eventually it will end up on a podcast.
Yes.
Do you have any last minute thoughts, questions, concerns, complaints about conspiracy theories or birds or Berenstein Bears or Fruit of the Loom?
Why? Why? Why are we here?
I think that's a great way to end things off. Why are we here? So thank you guys for listening, for tuning in again to this episode. If you have any thoughts, or if you came across a conspiracy theory that you want to read, or if you have some more info about the ones that we discussed, send us an email at inconsistentpodcast1@gmail.com, or you can send us a DM on Instagram, which will be at inconsistentpodcast1. Thanks, and remember, if a bird poops on your car, it's tracking you.